Okay, so welcome to the daily analysis. Today is Tuesday, the 24th of January 2017, and the time is 1300 hours, as they say in the army, here in the UK. So, what are we going to do in today's analysis? We're going to look over all the pairs on my list here, each time frame for the pair, and look for, price action setups, reversal setups. There was some announcement I wanted to make, but I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah. The trading show. The trading show in February. I think it's on the 24th. Actually, it's exactly a month away. Trading show on February 24th in London. I am going to be there to support one of my students, Viet, which most of you probably know from the forum, as he has challenged Charlie Burden, a pretty famous trader. He challenged him on Twitter to a trading competition live on stage. So I'm going to be there to cheer Viet on. It'd be cool if some of you guys could show up too. The only catch is tickets are I think I think Viet posted a discount code on the forum, so I'll put that discount code below the video. Just to make it 100% clear, I earn no money from ticket sales. This event has nothing to do with me. I am going as a audience member, and I have also paid. It would just be cool if we could see some Forex for Noobs people there to cheer on Viet. I know a lot of you are coming already, so yeah, if anyone else wants to come, please do. It's in London, February 24th. We are going out for probably some drinks after, so. Anyway, now that we've talked about that, let's actually do the analysis. So USD JPY, what is up with USD JPY? Yeah, nothing much really, nothing tradable here. It's dipped below the support area and bounced away twice now. So I'm very likely going to adjust the support area, pull it down a little bit. But yeah, there's nothing really that I would trade right now. All right, USD CAD, what's going on with USD CAD? USD CAD looks like it's headed down. Yeah, but it's too late to enter a trade here. EUR GBP. EUR GBP is still stuck on this support area. Nothing much tradable here, nothing that I would want to get into anyway. New Zealand USD. Hello. That is a pretty nice looking indecision candle. Two indecision candles on the 12-hour. I was looking at this like an hour or so ago. It didn't really look as good. I think it was... Yeah, it wasn't a small indecision candle. I think it was trying to break down earlier. But now it's looking quite good. Okay, so what I'm thinking is it is a bit messy over this side, right? So it is a bit messy. It spiked up to here, came back down, and then tried to get back up. So there is some messiness here. Now, is that going to stop me from taking a potential trade here? Probably not. Just let me close this. Probably not. But it is a bit of a concern. Let's look at the numbers. Okay, so here at the problem area, let's call it. So this area here. Now this is a problem area because we have seen price reacting around here twice already. That one there and this one here. Also here actually, 3 times. I mean, eventually it did break through, but it got held off for quite a while. So at our problem area, we only have a 1.37 risk to reward ratio. So this isn't the best looking setup right now. I'm going to keep a close eye on it. I want to see how it develops on both the 12-hour and the daily. But I'm not sure if I would enter this one. We'll just see how it plays out. Yeah, even there, see, it's bounced away from the same spot. So that area is going to be a problem. And see, if our stop loss was down here because the upper wick was smaller, or let's say here, we could get a 1.5 risk to reward ratio by the time it reached this problem area. So I'd be happy with that. I probably wouldn't exit straight away with the 1.5, but you know, if it's at 1.5, then I have the option to exit. If it slows down and I start to see that price is stalling, then I might consider exiting. But because our stop loss is quite large, we only end up getting a 1.3 risk to reward ratio. So it's tricky. I'm not 100% sure if I'd want to get into this trade. There's too much evidence showing that price stalls around here when it tries to get back down. Even here, see that? Before eventually it went down. So there's too much evidence of price stalling around about there. So what I'm thinking is, if I can get in on a small retrace, that will give me an okay risk to reward ratio. So I'll just see how this one plays out. I'll keep a close eye on it. Might enter on a retrace, might just skip it entirely, but it looks decent. So let's keep an eye on it. Any questions about New Zealand USD? I'm not sure what you mean. How much of a retracement will invalidate the setup? A retracement from where? How much of a continued bullish move will invalidate the setup? When you say yes, I am right, do you mean the last thing I said was what you meant? How much of a bullish move will invalidate the setup? Well, let's look at the 12-hour because the daily chart hasn't closed yet. So we'd have to look at the 12-hour. If it were to make a new high beyond this candle, I would start to consider the possibility of entering a trade here over. So I would just want to see, yeah, if buyers take control and start pushing up and make a new high. I mean, that doesn't mean that I wouldn't enter the trade at all. It would just be the beginning of me thinking, okay, probably not going to happen. But the problem with that is also that if it were to make a new high here, right? Let's say this wick pushed up to here, made a new high up to there. I like to place my stop loss beyond recent highs. So I would want to have my stop loss up here. This setup already has a problem with a risk to reward ratio. So if I have to move my stop loss even higher, it's going to completely invalidate the setup. So yeah, with this specific setup, if it were to break higher, it would probably invalidate it. I wouldn't see it as worth entering, because it would just alter the risk to reward ratio too much. All right, AUD CAD, what's going on with AUD CAD? Let's delete that. Yeah, nothing much. It's just reversing and it's stalling on top of the resistance area now. Trying to get back up through it, but see how it's trying to get back up through it, but yeah, nothing really tradable here. It's too late. Some people are still in this trade, the short that they took yesterday. But yeah, it's too late to enter right now. EUR CAD, what are you up to? That's interesting. Now with Friday's inauguration, you know, President Trump getting inaugurated, I wasn't too surprised to see this indecision candle forming then. I mean, it was pretty easy to anticipate that on the day of inauguration, we were going to see indecision, because people were going to be closing out trades, price action would be pretty flat, and when you get flat price action, you usually get indecision. So it was no surprise to see this indecision candle. So come Monday, I wasn't really too tempted to enter in a trade based on Friday's indecision, because, you know, I just didn't really see it as a real indecision candle. I saw it as just an effect of inauguration day. So I said to myself, if indecision continues through to the next day, through to Monday, Tuesday even, today, then I would consider entering a trade. So what we're seeing on EUR CAD right now is indecision continuing through to Tuesday. So if this closes as indecision, then I might consider entering a short here. So we got this indecision candle here. Now I know people are going to ask, which I've just explained, but the reason I explained all that is because people are going to ask, well, why wouldn't you trade based on this indecision candle? But that's why I didn't trade based on that indecision candle, because, you know, this was just, let's just call it a fake indecision candle caused by inauguration. I wasn't really that convinced that it meant anything. But when we see this indecision candle following it up, now I'm starting to think we're actually seeing true indecision here on resistance, and there is potential for a short setup to form here. So I'm not going to trade based on this one, but yeah, it looks pretty decent. Hi, Catherine. And does anyone have any questions about this? George, you're already in on it? No, well, that's fine. Like I said, I didn't want to jump the gun with my entry. I wanted to wait for things to settle post inauguration. So yeah, you're in on the 12 hour, that's fine. I'm still going to wait it out a little bit. But yeah, there is potential. It is a bit messy through there, but yeah, it's not that bad. I think a 1.5 target is feasible on this one. All right, so yeah, EUR CAD is looking decent. Any questions about EUR CAD? A potential short here? I'm silent just in case there's questions. I'm just waiting for people to type. But it doesn't look like anyone's typing, so it looks like things are pretty clear. Yeah, okay. Let's go on to Euro USD. Huh, okay. Yeah, so I think this was posted to the forum. Yeah, we were talking about this on the forum. Some people jumped in already on the 4 hour. But again, same thing. I was just waiting for things to settle post inauguration, so I was waiting it out. Doesn't look like I'm gonna have the opportunity to enter this one on a higher time frame though. Maybe, depending on how this candle closes. Yeah. Let's check this out. Yeah, okay, maybe. I mean, this is not an ideal setup. It's not an ideal indecision candle, but yeah, if this closes like this on the daily, there might be potential to get into a short here. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on this one. Actually, I didn't move Euro CAD up to here. And I forgot what I was up to in terms of pairs. We looked at AUD CAD. I think we were up to AUD JPY. So we got 3 potential setups: New Zealand USD, Euro USD, Euro CAD. AUD JPY, let's keep an eye on this. Or let's not keep an eye on this, sorry, let's check this one out. Nothing's going on, it's in between 2 support resistance areas, nothing really tradable there. GBP CAD, I don't even know why I have this pair open. AUD JPY, we looked at. Euro AUD is the next one. Alright, so Euro AUD daily, it's stalling on top of a support area. It's stalling all over the place, but there's no real trade set up there. New Zealand CAD has broken above resistance. Yeah, nothing really there. AUD New Zealand in between 2 support resistance areas. So nothing really that's tradable here from the looks of it. Yeah. AUD USD in between 2 support resistance areas. So nothing tradable there. Euro JPY, can anyone guess what I'm going to say? It is in between 2 support resistance areas, so there's nothing tradable there. GBP JPY, I'm not even going to say it again. You guys know. You know what's going on there. GBP USD. Coming back down to test the support area. Stalling at the support area. Well, it's reacting. Buyers are taking control of price. We could see when it spikes down to support, it pushes back up as buyers try to take control. And what I'm thinking, right, is, let's say, in theory, over the next 12 to 16 hours, this candle does this. All right, here go my awesome candle drawing skills. Right, that candle does that. Then we get, one sec. Then we get that there, right? See where I'm going with this? Wait. Let's color it in white because it makes a big difference. Oh, no. Damn it. Okay, wait. I messed it up. See, because I colored it in white, that would mean it opened down there. What am I doing? All right, that's better. Like that. See, let's say we get something like this. So if that is acting as support now, and we get indecision forming there, we could potentially see a reversal here, continuation reversal. So this could be the start of a continuation reversal. Now, let's just try to imagine that candle. I don't really like doing this too far ahead of time, and this is way too far ahead of time because we don't even have indecision there yet. We just have signs that price is stalling at this support area. But yeah, there is potential here, depending on the size of the indecision candle. There is potential to get a decent risk to reward ratio. So let's keep a close eye on GBP USD. Let's see if we can get a continuation type reversal here. You know, if price falls back down to here, we could probably catch a long as it continues up. You know, it might not happen, but it's worth keeping an eye on. Eric is asking how I did that. These are just drawing tools from my recording software. I'm not sure if you guys, yeah, you guys can see this box. So it just gives me drawing tools. It's nothing to do with the charts themselves. So yeah, we have potential for a continuation here. So let's keep an eye on that. USD CHF is in between two support resistance areas. Nothing is tradable here. Euro New Zealand. Yeah, in between two support resistance areas, nothing really tradable. Now, I just wanted to say one thing before we end this analysis. When you analyze your charts, when you do your analysis, it's important to flick through every single time frame. So it's important to look at every time frame that you're trading. Why is that important? Because if you look at a single time frame, you're not going to see everything. This GBP USD is a good example of it. Let's say we looked at this just on the daily. On the daily, it would be easy to dismiss this and say there's no potential setup forming, right? Because you look at it, broken above, it's come back down, but it doesn't really look like there's anything going on. You only really start to see that we might have potential for a continuation on the lower time frames. Especially the 8 hour, it looks pretty good. We have a nice preceding trend heading into a support area. So you only really start to see that properly on the smaller time frame, 6 hour, 8 hour. That's where it starts to look good. So when you're doing your analysis, don't just look at one time frame and say, oh, no setups on GBP USD next. You'll notice that when I'm looking at I always, even if I see price stuck in between two support resistance areas on the daily, I'll always go down to the lower time frames to see what it looks like there. I don't dismiss a setup. I don't dismiss a pair and say there's no potential trades there just because I don't see anything forming on the daily. Always flick through all your time frames because it's going to give you a clearer picture of what's going on. So New Zealand USD on the daily, we got something that looks kind of like a setup, but it's pretty messy. I'm not that excited about this, but yeah, there might be a potential for a trade, possibly entry on a retrace. Depending on this daily candle close, we'll discuss it on the forum and see how it plays out. Euro USD, yeah, again, not too excited about this. The candle's just not that good. Risk reward ratio, you know, is going to be okay, but only just okay. It doesn't look that good. I want to see how it closes on the daily and the 12 hour. Well, sorry, no, not the 12 hour, just the daily. I want to see how it closes on the daily, and I'll make my decision based on that. Euro CAD is looking pretty decent, but again, I want to see how it closes on the daily. Yeah, just the daily. Depending on the daily close, I might enter a short trade sometime early tomorrow if it pushes lower. And yeah, like I said, it depends on what happens here during the rest of the day. It could very well just, you know, continue up, and then it would invalidate this setup. I'm not going to jump in early. I'm not going to jump in now. I want to wait for this close. GBP USD, well, I just explained that one in detail. You know, I'm spotting a potential continuation setup. Might not even happen, but it is worth keeping an eye on here in case something like that happens. But yeah, other than that, guys, I don't really see much else. But there are 4 things to keep an eye on. Unfortunately, these 3 are on the daily, so it's not really going to happen until tomorrow. But regardless, it's worth keeping an eye on.